Hello Virgo, I am Ulrich, I am a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do the philosophical spiritual card reading for your sign. As always, we will do 4 card readings for you, and these are based on the natural elements in your astrological chart, and for some of you, on your time of birth. These basic elements are air, earth, water, and fire. Now, the 4 objects that you always see on my table are directly connected to those elements. So you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. However, if the object and the related video does not match your first choice, please check the other videos that are immediately connected in the same session. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, the matches represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Virgo, here we go for your spiritual philosophical card reading for the month of March. I also want to add, if you have questions, you can always post them in the comments below, and of course, as soon as I have time, I will answer you. So Virgo, here we go for your reading. Hello Virgo, and welcome to the shell or the water group for your spiritual philosophical card reading for the month of March. As your first card here, this card tells us we, or you, at least in this case, you should stay away from the crowd. What does this exactly mean? Well, it probably means that there is too much noise around you, there is too much chatter around you. It's like we cannot hear ourselves talking anymore, we have no rest, there's a lot of going on here. Sometimes also it means that there are too people around us with big egos, there are too many opinions, and it could all trouble us a little bit. Here we see that it's like we need to find ourselves back here, and it's time we take a few steps back. As you see here with the sheep, it distinguishes itself, the animal, from the crowd. This is the reason, therefore, is because you should think about your situation. It's possible that you tell to yourself, yeah, but I don't have time for relaxing, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for making some distance. Well, here sometimes it tells us maybe it is the time. You should think about it and make some time. This is what we are seeing here. We should also consider that we are so going in the flow of life that sometimes our care for other could be less than normal. You should think about this if this is the case for you. Also, this card tells us if you take some distance, if you relax, you have built something up in your life, your life is not gonna collapse in 1, 2, 3. You probably have some securities here, and we should not exaggerate the situation. Here we see also that you should not be afraid here with this card to go to the bottom of yourself, to go inside yourselves here. And also, maybe you had enough opinions for now. Maybe it's time that you stop these opinions that people try to give you. Maybe it's enough and you need to make up your own mind. This is what we are seeing here. So take some time alone here. This is what the cards tell us here, and search for your deep inner spiritual, for some people, the divine source. You need a kind of silence here, and you need to get away from the plague of opinions and things that exist for you. Sometimes this card can also be health related. And some people can push certain opinions up to us that we don't agree on, but maybe we feel the pressure and maybe it's time to take some time out. Don't forget that we only have one body. There are no spare parts, and whatever that is happening in our life, if we take certain decisions, sometimes these decisions are irreversible and things are changed forever. So we should be wise, especially if we take this decisions related to our body, related to medication, relate to experimental medication. So be wise, take a few minutes here, take a while before you make decision, even though you have pressure from the people around you. It's not a good thing here now for going in the flood of people. You need to make up your own mind. It's very important to do so. The next card that we are saying here, it's a card that is actually close related to it. It tells us to catch our breath back. What does it tell us? Well, Virgo is a very hardworking sign. And this card, it tells us that you are very hardworking, but our ego, our personality, our self-esteem, the personality that we built through the years, it will never be satisfied. And we could have a situation that the more we work, the more we have the feeling that we need to do more. So it's like we cannot stop anymore. And it tells us here also, this card, that you work very hard. And even though you keep on working harder, you could lose yourself here in a spiral. And we should take a step back here and catch our breath. Again, here the cards tell us your life is not going to fall apart. Take a breath. Maybe you have built up some false emergencies in your life that you think, I need to do this because else this will happen. And if I don't do this, that will happen. The card here tells us it's not going to be like that. Here we need to see that we need to try to vibrate on a higher vibration in our life. This is what we are seeing, and especially we need to relax. You need to relax, you need to distinguish yourself from the cloud. It's very important here. And if you allow yourself to clear your higher mind, there will something come over you like an intuition, like an inner guidance. And it's like you will find your path back, because maybe because all this hard work, you can see a thing you see in your life is work. And we should have fall back here on our fate, and everything will work out for you in a divine order, in a divine way. When you take some rest, some nice things and some clear ideas could come to you. This is what we are seeing here. If you are spiritual at that moment, you could receive messages from your spirit. If you are a very religious person, you could see some messages coming to you from your God, or you could see certain signs. So here it depends, of course, if you are religious or not, but something here can come to you, or you can just have like a kind of intuition that you know it's time to do this and that. The next card that we are seeing here is the card that tells us we need to simply smile. Maybe we don't feel so happy at the moment, and this card tells us we should be more happy. If you are in a very busy time in your life, and no matter how intimidating the situation might be around you, or certain pressures here, don't let it come to you. This is what this card tells us. Don't take it too serious. Step away from the current situation. Again, we have the same here. It's time here that you take a step back, and you need to surround yourself with things that make you relax, that make you smile. A kind of, it's like you're lacking here a sense of humor, or you need more humor in your life. You will see, if you laugh more, you will relax. And here, sometimes it's needed that we ask for help from higher guides, from your spirituality. This is what we are seeing here. You will feel when you are smiling, laughing, it's like you come in a different vibration, and it's like you're singing here. But also, we should not do this alone. We should find like-minded people for laugh along with them, people who have the same ideas, the same point of view. It's very important here to do though. We can sometimes with this card not isolate us. We need to find like-minded groups. Maybe there's a close friend that you have for a very long time, and you are very in agreement about most things in life. And it's important here maybe that you laugh together with this friend. It might be a partner here, but it's very important to do so. Don't be too serious. Virgo sometimes can be very serious. They can be very aware about their responsibilities, but here we see, try to relax here. There's a clown in the box here, and you see how happy the child is. If you laugh, you will see that your life could go in a different direction. So Virgo, this is all for the Shell or the Water group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are immediately connected here. If you are interested in more earthly, serious card readings, you can always check the work business card readings that are also available on my channel. And of course, we do the philosophical financial card readings that are then specific oriented on finances. If you put the tree together, you come out and you have a nice picture what is about to come for the month for you. Anyway, Virgo, I want to thank you for your time that you spend on my channel. Thank you for subscribing, and see you next time. Bye bye for now. Hello Virgo, and welcome to the Aerosol or the Air group for your philosophical spiritual card reading for the month of March. As your first card here, we see with this card that it's time to rebel. What does this exactly mean? Well, here it points sometimes that we are controlled. There are forces above us that try to control us. But here we see that we have no accountability except for our own person and our own safety. Also, we are accountable what is coming from our higher self. We are not accountable for the government, and also we have no responsibilities towards governments or authority, what they want to put upon us. Probably there are some kind of authority symbols around you. They try to push you maybe in a certain direction, and maybe you feel here that there is something is not right. Maybe you have a feeling deep inside yourself or in your soul that something is off, that you are pushed in a certain direction. And here with this card tells us it's time to free ourselves from certain fears that are made upon us in the past. Maybe we are scared for certain things. Maybe people make us scared. There could be certain ghosts that are created around us. This could be health-like. Anything here, we should be very careful here what we are doing. But here we are told here, if we disapprove or we feel certain threats, we should not necessarily go along with it. We have a different opinion here, and we need to bring this opinion into a human dimension. This is what we are seeing here. Authority figures, if you are confronted with them, for instance, if you are confronted with bosses, people in charge, people that tell you what to do, you need to do this, that, and that, or else this and that are the consequences. Maybe it's time to take a step back on that. And maybe it's time that you review their authority, because actually these are ordinary people that you give control over yourself. So here we are urged not to be scared, because these are mostly people with big egos, and they might try to scare you. This is what we are seeing here. But actually, instead of going in, you should forgive them, because maybe that's the only way they can see the situation. Here we are asked to use our smartness and to be wise. This is what we are seeing here. And if you forget them, if you forgive them and you take distance from them, these things will disappear. This is what we are seeing here. Nobody can force you in certain situations in your life. The only person that can say yes is you. But if you say no, you say no. You don't need to start a discussion. If your answer is no for certain things, the answer is no. Nobody has power over you. The only person who has power over yourself is you yourself. You are not accountable just to yourself. So, and of course, your higher spirits. And if you have a god or some deity, you have only responsibility to those, but not to authority figures that impose on you. Because you see the authority figure here, we are all confronted with authority figures now these days that tell us what to do for the greater good. So we need to be wise about that. Sometimes the consequences only come on the long run. The next card that we are seeing here is this card tells us that we should connect with our soul family. What does that exactly mean? Well, soul family, it doesn't mean, of course, your family. It doesn't mean that there is a problem with your family. Probably you get along well, but this soul family is different. These are people who are close to you. What does that mean? Well, this could be a friend. If you talk to certain friends in your close circle of friends, and you talk to this person, you see that you always come to the same conclusion. You are like-minded. And here, if we stay alone, it's like we want to lock off our mind. But here with this card, it tells us you need to search for these people. Maybe for some reason, it's a long time you have been in contact with them, with this friend, with these people. But you need to find similar minds. And if you need to rebel, as we saw in the first card, probably these people have similar ideas. This is what we are seeing here. We are going to the Aquarius time, and the Aquarius time, it tells us here we need to find like-minded groups, people who think the same as us. This, as I said, it could be that you have a long phone call with people who are or were once very close to you, and their perspective will energize you. And this is very important now to do so. If you connect with these people, you will regain confidence, and you will be sure and more clearly see that your point of view is the correct one. This is what we see here with this card. We need to hear another bell ring, and you will hear as the bell is ringing, that is exactly what you're thinking. This is what this card is about. But also it tells you you need to stop thinking about these issues for a moment. So make these contacts, take a step back and go back to these people, have some fun with them, spend some time with your soul family. This is what we are seeing here. You can share a meal with them, you could have a conversation with them, you go for a walk in the park, but it's important here that you reconnect, that you come in the same mindsets. It's very important here because this will change your perspective, and it's also important for the road to success. The next card that we are seeing here is the card that tells us we need to say yes. This card tells us that there are some things here in our life that make us scared. We hold back, we hesitate, we don't dare to be vulnerable, we don't try to, we are scared for sharing our opinions. This is what we are seeing here. But here, our ego, sometimes it builds up a safety net. This is what we are seeing here, our self-esteem. And we could have the feeling that we are watched, that people are observing us, and maybe they are. But our ego will never be safe. We will never be safe. We just have action, reaction. On the other hand, your higher spirit, it tells you not to hesitate, because there are some important things, positive things that are about to happen in your life. We know in whatever condition we are, our life never stops. And opportunities in life also never stop. There's a circle in our life. And when the train comes into the station and we don't take the train, well, the train leaves and you're not on it. So this means that great opportunities are about to come for you. But if you don't talk to people, if you don't confirm your own point of view, you could miss the train. This is what we are seeing here. So here we are urged to take advantage of the moment that is about to come in our life. It's time to achieve certain results, run with the ball, and choose the different life that is put upon you now. Our life is different now. It's like we are pre and after now. If we compare the situation with 2 years ago, we cannot. And things will never come back probably as they were. Maybe they will come, there will be similarities, but it's unlikely that the exact same situation will come back. Anyway, here we are asked to enter the flux of life. So don't miss the train, don't hesitate, say yes. If you need to implement certain changes in our life, this card tells you it's time to act, talk to other people, and put the authority figures in their place where they need to be. So Virgo, this is all for the air group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit your role, please check the other 3 that are immediately connected here. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. If you have interest in more earthly card readings, we do also with the classic Lenormand card readings, work business card readings, you can check them out. And of course, we do the financial philosophical card readings, the 3 you can put together and you can see what the coming month for you has in perspective. So Virgo, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for subscribing, and see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Hello, Virgo, and welcome to the Stone Group or the Earth Group for your spiritual philosophical card reading for the month of March. As your first card here, this is the card of creativity, or we are urged here to be creative. What does this card exactly mean as well? We all, in a way, we are all artists. We know Virgo is very handy sign. They are very good with their hands. If they are not good with their hands, they have mostly a very good mind. So it's one of both here. But in general, even if Virgo is good with their mind, they are also very practical. It's a practical sign, and they're very good with their hands for making things, for creating things. This is all related to Virgo. Anyway, here it is time that you express yourself again. You see that the woman, she takes off the violin or the guitar here from the closet. Maybe she put it there a long time ago, and here you are urged to go back in your creative mind. What is that? Well, it's different for everybody. Maybe you are a good writer and it's time to write a poem. If you are good in with your hands, you can paint a picture. You can take a nice picture, listen to some music, or go back into music. Maybe it's a long time that you played music here. What we see here also, sometimes for people who like to cook, maybe it's time that you get your pots and pans back out of the closet and you cook more yourself. And if you're a gardener, of course, it depends on the time of the season that we have. Maybe it's time to go in the garden and check if you cannot do some work there in the outside for your creative mind. Anyway, here we see that we need to go deeper into ourselves and express ourselves in an artistic way. So here we are asked to appreciate our own creativity for our own good. It's possible that we tell to ourselves, no, I don't want to play the instrument. No, I don't want to draw anymore because I need to do this and that and I have responsibility. But this card tells you it's not a waste of time because that is your ego talking. You should take some time out, and it has a very important value for you right now. It's possible that your ego is trying to suffocate you. It tries to suffocate your spiritual or your creative mind, and you don't feel the joy anymore that you once did. So don't let your own ego personality scare you, or don't tell to yourself, be silent, I need to work. No, you should go into this here. This card tells us there is also no such thing as good art. There's only art that is genuine, that comes out of your heart. This is what we are seeing here. And here it means there is a demand for expression. This is what we are seeing here. Don't worry about what others say. It's not important. And if you don't like to show it to others, you can. So don't worry about what other people think, but it's very important that you start again with what you once did, or that you start with something creative. You have to listen to your higher mind here, what it's trying to say to you. So silence your critical Virgo ego. Sometimes Virgo can be very critical, and that can be in a positive and in a negative way. This is not a criticism, this is something that is a fact. Virgo, the critical side of Virgo can go two ways, overcritical and exactly the criticizing that it needs to be. But here we are urged to stop this criticizing ego that tells us we cannot be creative. This is what we are seeing here. We are urged here to express and form art, and you should start with it as soon as possible. The next card that we are seeing here, is the card of creation. It's again about creativity here. This is a very creative reading. So we are, the Virgo here in this group is very urged here to be creative. So what does this card tell us exactly? It tells us to put your creative mind at work as the first step. It tells you that if there are certain priorities in your life, you should reconsider your priorities, because there are some inner powers here in yourself that ask to be created. We need to see also with this card that the world, sometimes it can offer us much more than we currently see. Maybe we all have a certain point of view, and we are, in a way, we are conditioned. And sometimes it's difficult to see things in a different way. It's possible that there are something that is blocking your higher mind. and you could set false priorities. Things in your life, even though they are safe, could have become routinious. And your ego, it will make you believe that there is nothing else to see. And it wants you to keep on doing and going as you are in the conditions, the situations that are around you. But this card tells us it's time to take a different road. Here we are asked, of course, we need to do our work, but if we are in a certain routine and certain things are really boring us, we should reconsider this. Here we are asked to be very creative. The purpose of us as human beings in life is to create. When we stop creating, or you in this case, you are giving up here. This card tells us our greatest power, your greatest power. So you will see if you create something, whatever it is, do the garden, do some cooking, whatever, you will feel a certain joy. And afterwards you will say, well, I did a nice job here. This is what we are seeing here with this card. But here, sometimes we have lack of self-confidence. We don't know where to start here. And as the third card told us there, start with a recipe, a poem, we see the same here. Sometimes also it's time to get a haircut, or we change hair color, we buy some new clothes, we add some color in general in our life. Maybe it's time for a change. So we are asked here to do several efforts here for bringing color in our life. It might be, if you look around you and you check yourself, that you are becoming very predictable. And in a way, there is an unsatisfying present. This is what we are seeing here. And here, this card tells us we need to dive into the exciting, pleasant world of creating. This is what we are seeing here. Once you decide to go there in this creativity, your mind will lend you a hand. It doesn't mean that you're gonna change in a famous artist, but you will see that certain things in your life will change. Anyway, no matter the outcome, you have nothing to lose. This is what this card tells us here also. You have nothing to lose, except maybe if there is boredom in your life, you get rid of the boredom. But I'm sure here that you are not one to hold on to certain boredoms or a lack of satisfaction in your life that you are currently feeling. The next card that we are seeing here is that this card tells us we need to ask advice to an expert. What exactly does this mean? Well, it means that we probably struggling with certain problems in your life. Sometimes we are withdrawn in ourselves. We refuse to ask help from others or advice from others. It's like we feel in control, but in another way, we know we are not. And we know we need to reach out, but we don't want to. Sometimes this could be because we position or we bring ourselves in a weak position, or we could have that feeling. But this is actually our ego speaking. This is our personality. Here we see, if you have toothache, of course you go to the dentist. If our back hurts, we go to the doctor. If our car breaks down, yeah, we go to the mechanic. The same with this card. It means in your life, something needs to be repaired. Maybe the destination where you headed need to be repaired. This is what we are seeing here. And here, your higher spirit, the thing that is above us, that all makes us alive, it asks you to seek support. It asks you to reach out to others. Maybe you hesitated for a while, and it doesn't make your situation easier because you always wait, or maybe you waited already for a long time. And maybe you did not allow yourself to share certain points of view or certain people into your life. But this card tells us that you have reached the limitations of your own expertise, and we need to allow help in our life. So if you can, seek advice of an expert, someone who can offer you information that might not be available for you or you don't have. This could be a counselor, this could be a teacher, this could be a colleague, this could be your partner. But here, don't let your pride, because this is then the male side, even if you're a woman, this is your male side talking. You should set this aside and set your pride aside, and you should leave the suffering that you're undergoing here. And with a little bit of help here, you can sail gracefully away here from this difficult situation. This card tells also when the student is ready and you are, the teacher will appear. But sometimes we'll need to give fate a hand, or we need to open our eyes for teacher. So Virgo, this is all for the stone group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other 3 that are connected here. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. If you have interest in more earthly card readings, we do also work business card readings with the classic Lenormand. You can find those also. And we have then, of course, the philosophical financial card readings, the 3 you can put a hole and you can see for yourself what is there for the month to come. Anyway, Virgo, thank you for your time. Thank you for subscribing, and see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Hello, Virgo, and welcome to the matches or the fire group for your spiritual philosophical card reading for the month of March. As your first card here, it means that certain things in our life need to be repaired. What does that mean? Well, it's possible here with this card that we had some arguments with people. Maybe we caused somebody pain. Maybe we were in an argument here, and sometimes our ego or our personality don't like to admit that we have caused certain pain of certain hurts. It's possible that this is a repeating thing that is happening in your life, that it's not the first time, and the situation comes over and over again. It's possible here that we need to take a different road, and it's possible that we see ourselves always get into certain problems. This is our ego that tells us that it's good for us to take distance, to reject, be angry. Some people will be sad with this card towards others. This is what we are seeing here. And sometimes here we tell ourselves, this is not my problem, this is the other person's trouble, and you don't care what is going on with others. But here, this card also has a flip side. This tells you if these people are hurt, or they hurt you, or you hurt them, we actually hurt each other. This is what we are seeing here. And it's time that you master this situation. Sometimes if we have caused pain, we should think about this. Were there some areas in your life? Sometimes this also that we could angry and we could literally express this anger. Sometimes this could be that we are very angry, actually going to the point of violence. It's possible also that this violence overcomes us. That is then the other side. That is then the projection. It's possible that somebody attacked you or you attacked somebody, and there's a mess left behind. There were emotions, annoyances, difficult situation here. It's possible that this other person have been careless. You have an argument about this. You turned away from each other, and actually you turned each other's world upside down. And maybe you caused them to lose confidence. But here we are asked to be the smartest of the 2. And we should set this mistake right, if possible. Mostly it's possible, because else you would not have this card here. Here we should ask certain people, maybe you have disappointed somebody, maybe you have upset them, but it's time to repair this situation. Don't keep lingering there. Don't ignore that the damage is done here. It's time to visit the crime scene. Here we are able to fix what is done there. You should make amends, and also others will probably be willing to make amends to you. The next card, it's actually close related to the first card. It tells us we are in a foggy situation. Maybe we cannot see things clearly. It's like that our ego, our personality, our self-esteem, it's twisting certain truths, and we cannot see actually what is going on. Sometimes it means we need to go into our heart, and our heart sometimes gives us accurate information about the situation. So here, the best way to clear up this confusion is starting to think where you are what has happened and where you want to go. And also we need to inform ourselves about any details. We need to analyze the situation. This is very easy for Virgo because they are very detailed. So you should observe carefully, listen carefully, observe, check the details, and be careful not to interrupt. You need to keep your distance. Don't be passionate. Don't look at it from your point of view. Take distance. It's like you're looking through a microscope, like you're looking with a binocular. You need to look at yourself as it were somebody else. This is what we are saying here. And here we should also clearly express our intentions with a pure heart, and we should not be emotional or vague. This is what we are seeing here. So let your higher mind speak for you. Also breathe calmly, find your breath back, and you will see that the best will come out of it. This fog, if you work out of your heart, will disperse and the pollution will disappear. This is what we are seeing here. The next card that we are seeing here, it asks us to be patient. What does this mean? Well, it's possible here that things that are happening in our mind are not happening in the pace that we would like them to be. It's like there are certain desires that we are having, but they could be like out of reach. And we could be impatient. This could be the point or the reason for our anger, because maybe we are waiting long time for this and we don't know anymore where we are. But here this card tells us you should be a little bit longer patience, because the things are about to come and set straight. Here we see that it's about like a flower who is out to bud open. It's not ready yet. These realities are about to come and they are willing to please you, but not yet. This is what we are seeing here with this card. The vibrations are not yet there, almost, but not yet. It's like you're in the front of the door, you rung already on the door and you're waiting to be answered. This is what we are seeing here with this card. Here with this card, you cannot see the results that are about to come, but something very strong is about to come up on you. So don't force, be patient, relax, and know that something above you is about to support you and is willing to let you reach your goal. It's like if you have a God, or if you are very spiritual, you're about to get access, but you need to be patient for things to happen. So Virgo, this is all for the fire group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other 3 that are immediately connected here. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. If you're interested in financial card readings, we do also philosophical financial card readings, and of course we have the classic Lenormand card readings. They are very down to earth. This is about work and business, so you can weave the 3 together and you get an overview about the month to come. So Virgo, this is all for this month. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and see you next time. Bye bye for now.